Hello, Yogiful family! Welcome back to the Yogiful Calming Corner. It's great to see you again. Today, we're going to be talking about tools and building. What? Yeah, and this video is dedicated to our friend Peter. Hi, Peter. Thanks for being our inspiration. Peter loves tools, so gave us a pretty fun idea to make a video all about it. So, how can we relate tools to yoga and mindfulness? Well, just like we take really good care of our tools so that they can work their best, we also have to take really good care of our body and our mind so we can work at our best. I know. So let's get started with our silly drill breathing. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's find a comfortable seated position. Sitting crisscross yoga sauce. Yeah, and we're gonna be doing drill breathing, which is a little bit silly, so watch me first and then we'll do it 3 times together. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my hands up over my head, bringing my palms together. I'm gonna inhale, and when I breathe out, I'm gonna breathe through my teeth like this, and pucker my lips together. So watch me once, and then we'll do it 3 times together. You ready to try it with me? So bringing your hands up over your head. Great. We're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth with our teeth together, and we're going to twist from side to side. Ready? Inhale, and inhale. One more time. Bringing our hands down to our knees and relaxing for a minute. Let's go on a silly tool adventure with a saw named Susie. It's time for another yoga adventure. Today, we're going to be talking about Susie the saw and her big dream. It's easy. All you have to do is follow along with me and do what I do. Let's get started. So there once was a little saw named Susie, and she lived in a shed and was owned by Peter. So let's go to Susie the saw pose. Bringing our feet out, not super close, about hip-width distance. Bringing our hands together at our heart, and we're gonna go up and down and make a saw sound. Ready? And Susie the saw was a very hard worker. But Susie the saw had a very big dream of becoming a singer. And to be a saw and to be a singer, that was a little tricky. So Peter had a very big project he was working on, and he had to do a lot of chopping. So he decided to go on a walk and collect some wood. Let's go on a walk together. There's the wood. So let's bend forward and pick up our wood. Good. And drop it back in place. And it's time to axe some wood. So we're going to bring our front leg's going to be bent. Our back leg's going to be straight. Great. Bringing our hands together like we're going to chop some wood. Ready? Chop, 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 chop. Now, face the other direction, bending our front knee, and we're going to chop again on the other side. Chop, chop, chop. Oh, Peter had chopped a lot of wood. It was time to measure it. So let's come down to a seated position. Opening up our legs wide. We need to measure the wood with a tape measure. So leaning to one toe, we're going to measure all the way to the other toe. Good, let's try that one more time. We're going to go to one toe and tape measure all the way to the other toe. So now that we've measured the wood, it's time to use the chop saw. So coming back up to standing, feet hip-width distance apart. We're going to bring our hands up high and we're going to make a chop saw sound like this. Zzz, bending our knees. Let's try that again. Bzzz. 2 more times. Bzzz. Bzzz. And Peter still needed to chop some more wood, so he decided to use one of his favorite tools, a table saw. So coming to sitting, bringing our bottoms onto the ground, our feet onto the ground, and our hand onto the ground. Now, we're gonna lift up our legs. That might be a little tricky, so you can use your arm for balance if you need it. But if you feel good here, go ahead, bring your arms up. And if you feel really good here, you can straighten your legs, but that's a little tricky. And we're going to make little wheels or blades with our arms like this. Kind of like a table saw. Cutting lots of wood. Let's bring our feet down for a second. We're going to try this one more time. So lifting up our legs, keeping our knees bent if that feels comfortable, and we're going to chop some more wood. So and Peter loved using all of his tools. So he decided to use Susie the saw for the tiny little finished details. So coming back up to standing, let's go back to Susie the saw pose. So feet are hip width distance apart, hands come together at their heart, and we're gonna saw again. Ready? Eat, 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 eat. And all the wood was cut and ready. And it was time to do something else, to connect the wood together. Do you know what Peter needs to use? His hammer. So let's go to hammer pose and hammer some wood. Bringing our legs pretty wide apart, bringing our hands at our hips, and we're going to hammer by bending forward at our hips like this. And he needs about 10 different nails to connect the wood. So let's count to 10 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 75. 10. And now Peter needs to connect some wood with a screwdriver. Let's go to screwdriver pose. So bending our knees, feet out wide, bringing our hands onto our knees. Great. And we're gonna twist to one side and twist to the other, because screwdrivers twist. So twist and twist. And let's do this for 5 more twists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And shake out any sillies. Good, good, good. And Peter was so happy. Come to happy pose, bring your hands on your heart, because his project was all finished. I know you must be wondering what he was building. So he gathered up his project and he grabbed his multi-tool, because Peter travels with his multi-tool everywhere he goes. Let's go to multi-tool pose. Coming down onto our knees, bringing our hands on the ground, tucking our toes under, we're gonna lift our hips up to multi-tool pose. Now, this is an open multi-tool, but let's take something out of that multi-tool, like some pliers. So lift up your leg for pliers, and we'll put those pliers away. Let's lift up our other leg for a nail file. Good, we'll put that away. This is a tricky one. Lift up one hand for your scissors, chop, 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 chop.
Great. And lift up your other hand for a little knife. Good. And coming back onto our knees. Peter put his multi-tool in his pocket. And he also decided to bring Susie the saw with him. He doesn't usually travel with Susie the saw, but he figured he might need her for some of the little details once he puts his project out. So he put Susie the saw. Let's go back to Susie the saw pose. Ready? Eat, back in his pocket. And he has to walk over to the amphitheater. And when he gets there, legs out wide, arms in front, he sees lots of people everywhere. And they're all facing the stage because Peter built a beautiful backdrop for the singers. So let's lift up our project, bending our knees and squat walk like this, and dropping our project down. And Peter also took out Susie the saw and put Susie the saw right next to the microphone. And Peter decided to go sit and relax. And when Peter was sitting and relaxing, let's go to seated pose. Peter watched with amazement because two women got up to sing, and I think their name was Lady, and they were singing so beautifully. Let's go to singer pose. Bring your hands up high, and we're gonna go la 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 la. Ready? La 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 la, la 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 la. And they were beautiful. They were singing in harmony, and it was just an amazing sight to see. And then Peter noticed something. Susie the saw, let's go back to Susie the saw pose. Ready? Eat, was sitting right next to the microphone. And one of the singers in the band, Lady, picked up Susie the saw. So bending our knees, picking up the saw, and she put it in her lap. And then the three of them, Susie the saw and the two other singers, all sang together in perfect harmony. Susie the saw finally got to be the singer that she always dreamed of. And she was a hard worker, and she still sawed and did all of her work, but she also got to sing with amazing singers. What a beautiful, beautiful story. Let's go ahead and find a nice, cozy, comfortable seated position, and we're gonna relax for a minute. Tool yoga is ending. It's time to find a nice, cozy, and quiet spot to relax for a few minutes. So you can either sit up tall like me in a comfortable seated position, or I recommend for this one, laying down completely with our bellies up and our backs down, closing our eyes if we feel comfortable. As we lay here, imagining that our body is a multi-tool with all different types of instruments and tools and things that we can use based on what we need. Let's go ahead and open up our multi-tool. So we're gonna widen our legs just a little bit. We're gonna bring our arms out just a little bit, palms facing up. And we're gonna squeeze and make fists with our hands. And then we're gonna squeeze our arms and tense every part of our arms and squeeze our belly and squeeze our legs and our back and our bottom muscles, squeezing our toes and our face muscles and squeezing every part of our body. And inhale and exhale, relax every part of our multi-tool body. Let's try that one more time. Squeezing our fists and our arms, squeezing our belly and our shoulders, squeezing our face muscles and our leg muscles, squeezing our toes and our bottom, squeezing every part of our body. Inhale A little bit more. And exhale. Relax every part of our multi-tool body. Reminding ourselves of the importance of taking care of our mind and our body. Keeping it lubricated and making sure we don't grow any rust so that we can work at our optimum self. Bringing our hands to our belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly starting to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Rolling over to one side and propping ourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing our hands to our heart or on our heart, and we're going to do 2 Oms together. Ready? Inhale. Om. Slowly opening our eyes. Thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, stay yogiful. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Bye-bye.